Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel Coin Talk. Today's episode is a Coca-Cola Coin Talk. Now if you've seen my first video, you'll know what I'm talking about. When I was 6 years old, my mother took a glass 1.5 liter Coca-Cola bottle, cut a slit on the top of the bottle cap, and turned it into my first piggy bank, which is basically what got me started on this journey of coin collecting. Now, before I get started on this coin in front of us, I do want to give a quick shout out to a YouTuber out there by the name of Cull Silver. I highly recommend you guys look him up. He's got a wealth of information, great content as far as gold and silver stacking and also numismatic coins. Now, he doesn't profess to be a professional, but he's well versed and well researched, so he does know his stuff. He's got a very interesting collection, and as far as the gold and silver stacking, he has a lot of experience to share, which is important because you don't want to break the bank doing this sort of stuff. It's easy to get misled. So, I mean, as far as I can tell, he doesn't have any sort of agenda. He's not trying to push anything. He's just trying to share his years of experience. So I'll add the link to his channel in the description below, so please go have a look, subscribe to his channel, and follow his content because he's got good stuff. So without further ado, this one's dedicated to you, sir. So what we have in front of us here is the 1953 Canadian 1 cent penny. Now, what makes this penny special is the fact that it's the first time that Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth II, is portrayed on the obverse side of the coin. Now before that, of course, was her father King George VI, who died in 1952. Of course, the coins were still circulating at the time, so they didn't change until 1953. when she was coronated Queen Elizabeth, 27 years old. Now this portrait is called the Laureate Portrait. Okay, if you notice, she has laurels on her head. Okay, now this design, this portrait design was done by Miss Mary Gillick. Okay, now what's interesting about this, and it was no fault of anyone, it's just they didn't foresee this, but it happened. When they minted the coin, there was a bit of a, I don't want to call it an error, but it was something that had to have been addressed, and it's the fact that if you look at her shoulder, it looks like she's bare, right? Now, respecting the time period, and given the fact that she was royalty, you couldn't have someone of royalty be portrayed on currency bare. It just wasn't proper. So what they had done, when they found that out, they commissioned a man by the name of Mr. Thomas Schilling. He was the chief engineer at the Royal Canadian Mint, and basically what he was commissioned to do was adjust the coin by adding a marking on the side. It almost looked like a strap, right? A shoulder strap. Now, given the fact that there was 67.8 million of these pennies minted, some of them fell through the crack, of course, this being one of them. So this one is considered the NSF version. Now that doesn't mean non-sufficient fund. No, it means no shoulder fold, but it's also said to be called no shoulder strap, but the abbreviation is NSF, no shoulder fold, versus the adjusted one, which is SF, which is shoulder fold. Now this is a 1961 version. It doesn't really, it's not a real good example as what was done to the 1953, but if you could tell, like, see there's been an adjustment to this one. It looks like she's wearing a shawl, right? So that was one of it, but not the 1953. If you could find, if you do land a 1953 that has the Thomas Schilling adjustment, I highly recommend you keep that, or you know what, send it my way. I'll add it to my collection. No, hang on to it because it's a valued penny. I've heard that people have sold it for over $5,000. So yeah, that's one thing. A second thing to look out for is so if you look at the word above, it says De Gracia Regina. Okay, what that stands for is Grace of God, Queen. Okay, now if you look at the one for King George, it's DG Rex. Okay, that's De Gracias Rex et ind imp. So basically, that's Grace of God, the King. Rex is King, et and Emperor of India. IND is India, and Imperator imp. Right? So that's that. And she became queen. Right now, the thing to look out for on this particular penny is the word de, God. Now, if you see those gear-like designs around the penny, okay, those are denticles. If you look at the eye, this eye is centered to two denticles. Okay, that was immediately changed on later versions. If you look at this one, de, the eye is centered to one denticle. Okay, something to look out for. The second thing, going back to the eye, is the text itself. If you look at the eye, the top and the bottom of the eye, it's flared, right? Whereas later versions, the lettering was done more box-like, straight, right? Let me see if I can get the two together for you to see. Right? One is flared and one is not. Right? So that's this side. Now on the reverse side, we have a famous. This is a design that carried through from 1953 all the way through 1964. This is the typical design that you will find. Now this design was done by a gentleman by the name of George Edward Kruger Gray. KG, if you look on the bottom right, it's KG Kruger Gray. Now, let's understand that during this time period, Canada was still part of the empire. We were a colony. So it was a great honor for us to have a coin, currency, designed by someone from Britain, as Mr. Kruger Gray was. Now, today that wouldn't fly. We are in an independent country, so our coins are now designed by people who were born here or have become citizens and call this home. So that obviously changed. So he also, I think, created so he did the 1 cent, the 5 cent, and even the 50 cent. So you'll would find his design on those coins moving forward. But after that, it was all us Canucks that were, well, not us, special, talented Canucks that had the honors of designing these wonderful pieces. So that's that. If I missed anything, if you know anything about this coin, please add something in the comments. If you liked the video, please hit a like button. Check out Call Silver, as I said. He's got great stuff. And if you want to see more videos from me, or you want to be notified, you know the drill. Hit that bell. Make sure you click all, and you'll get a little notification every time I put out a new video. And they'll get better as I go along. I've only got a few videos out right now, and this channel is work in progress, but I got a lot of good content coming down the pipe. Got a lot of coins to go through, and a lot of good stuff to share. So Anyhow, yeah, if like I said, add some comments. If there's anybody you want me to check out, by all means, I'm always looking for people with good content. So add that in, and until then, keep collecting. Peace.